Those of you who've seen Justice League would probably remember that scene where Steppenwolf came to Atlantis to steal their mother box. And in that scene, Aquaman and Mera had a dialogue exchange underwater. But in order to facilitate that, the writers had Mera create an air bubble under the water so that, air could travel and they could speak to each other, verbally, the way that we talk to each other in person. However, that raised an interesting point. Like, is that how, in the Aquaman movie, which presumably will take place all or mostly underwater, because, it's about Atlanteans, is that how they're going to handle every dialogue scene? Are they going to have someone have to create an air bubble under the water? I mean, logistically, that would be a nightmare for the movie, right? It would just slow the movie down and people would hate that. I, of course, didn't think that was the case. I was confident that that's not how Aquaman the movie would handle underwater scenes, but I think a lot of people were worried or whatever. So James Wan, the director of the Aquaman movie that's coming out next year, took to Twitter to reassure people that that's not how the underwater dialogue would be handled in his movie. And here's what he said. "Fret not, no air bubbles for dialogue in my underwater world," which a lot of, media reports picked up on and wrote articles about. And I'm sure that reassured a lot of people who were worried. I wasn't worried. I mean, there's no way they would be able to do dialogue the way underwater in Aquaman all the time and have that work good. And this is great. I mean, I have more confidence. I was at Comic-Con earlier this year, and they showed Aquaman footage there in Hall H. They didn't release it to the public, though, so no one saw that. Maybe there's some leaked stuff, but the footage they showed was really good. They didn't show any underwater footage at there. They showed all surface stuff, but I'm sure a lot of this movie is going to be underwater. And Aquaman, I think, in Justice League, the movie, gave us a clue. When Batman at the end of the movie, near the end of the movie, asks Aquaman, "Can you put your feelers out in the underwater community, talk to fish?" And Aquaman said to Batman, "It's the water that does the talking or communicates the message." So I think that's a key to how they're going to handle underwater dialogue in the Aquaman movie. It's going to be some way of them talking through the water. And if the Aquaman movie does that well, I think it could be historical in filmmaking, because I don't think we've ever had a movie that I can think of where there was live action people underwater talking to each other. We've had animated movies like The Little Mermaid and Finding Dory and stuff, but those are cartoons or, and computer animated sorts of things. If Aquaman finds a way to make live action characters speak underwater work, that could be a watershed moment. No pun intended. We could see a lot more movies with people underwater talking to each other the way it's done in Aquaman. I think it could be very, very interesting in the history of filmmaking. And James Wan's a very good director. He's directed a lot of those horror movies in the Conjuring universe, and he directed one of the Fast and Furious movies, which I think was very financially successful. And so I have a lot of faith that Aquaman's going to be pretty good. It comes out December 2018. I forget the date, but we have, we have quite a bit of time to wait, because that's the only DC movie that's coming out next year. So it's more than a year away. But I'm excited. Are you? If you'd like to watch me make more videos about DC movies and TV shows and comic books, please subscribe. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Talk to you soon. Bye.